A road rage incident leads to this, an off-duty officer getting out of his vehicle with his gun drawn in the middle of Queens Boulevard, identifying himself as an NYPD officer, trying to hold two brothers in place while calling for backup. One of the men allegedly breaking the officer's rear window of his Kia, escalating the argument near 70th Street in Woodside.
You thought you was tough. I'm tougher than you. You thought you was tough. That's why I contest. You try to run me over.
As the three struggle, the officer is pushed to the ground in a fight for his life, according to NYPD brass.
The two males on top of our officer, continuing to punch him and kick him.
And then suddenly, the officer's gun goes off twice in 10 seconds. The officer is shot in the leg and one of the suspects in the hand. The third ran away and was arrested at the hospital. About 40 seconds later, officers from the precinct come rushing in, arresting the suspect and tending to the cop's wound.
Head north on North 7th Street toward North Franklin Street. Head east on Race Street. Keep right to stay on Race Street. In a quarter mile, turn left onto North 3rd Street.
Judge is revoking bail for a man on Long Island, now ordering he be held in the horrific crash that killed 4 family members last month. The change made after the court learned 32-year-old Michael D'Angelo was involved in 2 alleged drug incidents prior to the August crash. Police tests found D'Angelo had cocaine and fentanyl in his system at the time of the accident. The judge says he fears he's a flight risk. Prosecutors say D'Angelo slammed into a minivan on Sunrise Highway in Massapequa, killing a 6-year-old girl, her aunt, uncle, and grandfather.
The defendant, while allegedly high on both cocaine and fentanyl, drove at speeds of 120 miles an hour on Sunrise Highway at 99% acceleration at 7:15 in the evening. Can we let that sink in for a minute? He was going 120 miles an hour on Sunrise Highway, a busy Nassau County road, at 7:15 in the evening.
Among the charges, D'Angelo faces a charge of aggravated vehicular homicide, which carries a sentence of up to 25 years if convicted. He's pleading not guilty in court today.
We want to take you out to another story we're following today. This one out of Romeoville, Illinois. A family of 4 killed over the weekend. Their dogs also killed. Well, police have found a suspect in this. That suspect is now dead, though, after a fiery crash following a police chase. He was one of 2 people who were identified as persons of interest in this case after that family was shot to death in their Romeoville home over the weekend. We want to play out this brief update for you here from Romeoville next on Live Now.
Romeoville Police. I'm going to be reading a statement and then I will answer a couple of questions. Within hours of discovering the victims on September 17th, the Romeoville Police Department had developed a person of interest. That person of interest is 31-year-old Nathaniel Huey Jr. of Streamwood, Illinois. A second person, a female with a relationship to Huey, was also identified as a person of interest. In the evening hours of September 19th, the female person of interest was reported by family as a missing endangered person out of Streamwood, Illinois, and entered into the law enforcement agency's data system. Later that same evening, the Romeoville Police Department distributed a statewide bulletin to law enforcement agencies, believing Huey to be a credible suspect in this investigation. This morning, acting on a digital license plate reader alert, the Catoosa, Oklahoma Police Department was alerted to the presence of the suspect vehicle in their jurisdiction. Acting on this alert, local authorities located the vehicle and attempted to conduct a traffic stop. The vehicle immediately attempted to elude the officers, resulting in a single-car crash of the suspect vehicle, causing the vehicle to catch on fire. Officers on scene heard 2 noises believed to be gunshots. A female with a gunshot wound was located and removed from the passenger side of the vehicle and is listed in critical condition.
Now to a Fox 5 exclusive, an overnight gang takedown, and our cameras are rolling as it all goes down.
Fox 5's Lisa Evers was there before dawn with the NYPD. She joins us now with this story that you won't see anywhere else. Lisa.
Well, Natasha and Steve, for more than 2 years, the NYPD tells us hardworking day laborers, livery drivers, and retirees in the Bronx were targeted for armed robberies and vicious beatings by a violent gang going after their cash and their credit cards. They also allegedly had broad daylight shootings with rival gangs. We were given exclusive access into their investigation and the takedown. Police hope this will bring justice to the victims. Abdullah, how will you plead to the charges? Alleged Fivesley gang leader Abdullah Zika and other alleged accomplices were taken out of the 50th precinct in the Bronx to face a judge on multiple felony charges ranging from armed robberies to attempted murder. While most of the city still slept, officers from the Gun Violence Suppression Division, warrants, and many local precinct detective squads gathered at an undisclosed location in the Bronx to be briefed on the case. Our Fox 5 NY camera was the only one allowed in.
Gun in their head. Gun put to their head. That's how brazen they were. Over and over and over again. We have intel that there may be hundreds out there. Think about that for a second. You know, these are individuals that went into neighborhoods where they felt confident that incidents wouldn't get reported.
As the officers head out, we need to get some extra protection. We're being asked to put on bulletproof vests because we're going after a crew that is wanted for numerous shootings as well as one murder and numerous attempted murders. Police say the 12 gang members charged, who range in age from 16 to 21, are known as the Fivesleys because they're from 175th Street in the Bronx. In this surveillance video, you see 4 alleged members, including leader Abdullah Zika, open fire on a Bronx street. A mother has to duck and pull her 2 children down in order not to get hit in the crossfire.
It's disheartening to see that we have essentially some adolescents that are the perpetrator of these crimes.
This drill music video includes 4 alleged members of the gang, say police. The reckless shootouts with rivals are fueled by disses and drill rap videos, says Chief Jason Savino, who insists police are not against the music itself.
Where I have to draw the line is when it incites violence. And we're seeing that, where we have a lot of aspiring drill rappers, and some go in a completely different direction and use their trade as a talent. But we have some that are clear drivers of violence that call out and make fun of homicide victims.
Bronx District Attorney Darcel Clark announced a 110-count indictment against the 12 alleged gang members for horrible crimes, including attempted murder, assault, weapons possession, and other serious felonies.
We are really using precision prosecution as well as investigations to make sure we get the right individuals. And when you do that, that's when you will see a significant change.
Police say this surveillance video shows how they brutally attacked a group of day laborers coming home.
I'm a member of this community as well. I was born and raised here. I went to school here. I still have family here, so this is extremely important for these guys like this to be taken off the street.
We've seen time again, when we take down the trigger pullers, those that are driving crime, have the absolute goal to go out and shoot people. When we remove them and put them, quite frankly, where they belong, we see a drastic reduction in crime.
Tomorrow will mark 1 week since a little boy died after being exposed to fentanyl in a Bronx daycare. Today, a grand jury in the borough returned an indictment against 2 people for their role in the boy's death. All of these days later, investigators say they are still gathering evidence. In fact, they just released these brand new photos of a trap door they found used to hide drugs in the daycare. With more on this story, we go live to Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo, who's on the scene with the latest. Anthony?
Well, Sade, police say that trap door found in the floor in this daycare, which is right through these doors here beyond this crime scene tape. Police say the trap door in the play area directly beneath the play mats where children would take nap time. And today, cops finding more fentanyl, more illicit narcotics, and drug paraphernalia. Crime scene investigators back at the scene today, evidence bags in their hands as they comb the Bronx building that apparently served as a child care center by day and drug mill by night.
I may not have given birth to them. I may not have been the parent that sent them to that daycare center, but every single person in this county feels what those parents feel, that they entrusted that daycare center to take care of their children.
Bronx District Attorney Darcel Clark today vowing to get justice as a memorial grows outside. Sources say the latest search warrant executed on Morris Avenue revealing a trap door typical to a drug operation in the floor of the Divino Nino daycare being run out of an apartment. The search for hidden drugs continuing just days after the daycare owner and her cousin-in-law were hit with federal drug possession charges. Today, a grand jury in the Bronx indicting Bray Mendez and Carlisto Acevedo Brito. He was allegedly renting a room at the home daycare where lethal drugs were being stashed. Parents only growing more outraged.
The city has to intervene in these daycares, have more presence in it, and have more regulations.
Authorities say Mendez's husband, who allegedly fled the daycare with bags in his hand as children were suffering from fentanyl poisoning, is still on the run from the feds.
Why would you want to help somebody that murdered a baby in a daycare center?
The Bronx is
now to that disturbing and gruesome breaking news. A human leg found in a trash bin in the parking lot of a bank. This happening in the Hillcrest section of Queens. So who was this and what happened? The big questions tonight. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger live at the scene with more. Josh.
It's all a big mystery tonight, Sade. Let me just set the scene. The police left here just in the last couple of minutes, but just to the right of that dumpster in this TD Bank lot was sitting one of those big blue recycling bins. And just think about how eerie, how morbid this is. People were coming to this bank for more than a week. They were parking this lot right next to that recycling bin with no idea of the human body part decomposing inside. Tonight, the medical examiner's office carted away an entire trash bin loaded with a gruesome haul. The remains of a human leg attached to a foot discovered in a bank parking lot earlier this evening.
Before you actually see it, you could smell the dead body. You could smell everything's rotting, right?
Sources say a member of a TD Bank cleaning crew was taking out trash this evening when they smelled, then spotted the body part in a blue recycling bin propped up against this dumpster in the bank's parking lot on Union Turnpike.
I saw the blue trash can, the blue recycle bin where the body was dumped, and I saw like it open and some stuff hanging out. It was some garbage, and I saw like shoe.
Police are looking at video from a nearby home showing a person wheeling the recycling bin down the block and toward the dumpster back on September 11th. It would sit for 9 days before the grisly find this evening. Amir says he saw the video.
It showed like someone just dropping it off into a next to the dumpster.
But still pretty shocking to see it like up close firsthand, something like that happening.
Police in Brooklyn are investigating the death of a 1-year-old child. We're told officers are now questioning both parents. The little girl was found unconscious inside an apartment on St. Mark's Avenue in Prospect Lefferts Gardens on September 15th. She died yesterday. Investigators say the child suffered trauma to the body and the case is being treated as a homicide. Over a parking spot ended with gunfire over the weekend in Brooklyn.
A 26-year-old woman and her boyfriend were shot near the parking lot of a Home Depot on Saturday. The woman remains in critical condition. Her boyfriend also still in the hospital, but he was well enough to talk to Eyewitness News reporter Crystal Cranmore.
She joins us now from Bed-Stuy with the very latest. Crystal.
Good afternoon, Liz and Joe. Well, surveillance cameras captured the shooting. Now, in this video, you see the gunman standing in the corner here. This is Willoughby and Sanford Street. He's standing on the corner, just waiting for families to walk by. And then he crosses the street and opens fire on the couple parked just across the street outside the Home Depot.
She's just full of life. She's just a good person.
Speaking from his hospital bed with gunshot wounds to his back and leg.
For this to be happening is over something so minuscule. It's just like, it's overwhelming.
Cordell McDuffie recounts the moment he and his girlfriend Imani Sharpless were gunned down outside this Home Depot in Brooklyn Saturday afternoon. McDuffie's white Hyundai Sonata pierced with bullet holes over what he describes as a parking dispute inside the shopping center.
He was trying to go into a parking space, but he pulled up a little bit forward towards the entry. I pulled up behind the guy. He had to back up. and I was impeding on him backing up. I pretty much didn't realize it. I blew my horn for a second, then we exchanged words.
Both drivers got out the car. McDuffie said he tried to quickly defuse the situation before it escalated.
Now I told him it's a misunderstanding. You thought I was yelling? I wasn't yelling. My phone, my music was on.
McDuffie says both he and the suspect appeared to move on from the issue, continuing with their business inside the store. The couple left around 12:15 and pulled over on Willoughby Avenue.
And as I'm waiting, I just feel something hit me.
The gunman opens fire before running away. An injured McDuffie manages to drive away to safety, headed down the wrong direction on Nostrand Avenue. The suspect shot Sharpless in the head.
She's still in critical condition right now. They're trying to do what they can.
While police search for the gunman, McDuffie is holding on to hope.
I need everybody's prayers. I need her to be okay.
Searching for a suspect accused of violently robbing a delivery driver in the Bronx. It happened Tuesday just around 12:40 in the afternoon. Police say the suspect got into a fight with the victim, then kicked him before stealing a package from that victim. The victim refused medical attention and is expected to be okay. But if you have any information, call Crime Stoppers. That number, 800.
A former Doña Ana County deputy sheriff is facing charges alleging kidnapping and sexual assault in addition to destroying evidence. 33-year-old Michael Andrew Martinez was arrested on a criminal complaint charging him with deprivation of rights under color of law and obstruction of justice. Court documents detailing those charges describe an alleged kidnapping and sexual assault of a woman. Police say Martinez also tried destroying evidence of his dash cam and body cam relating to the incident. Documents say Martinez violated the alleged victim's Fourth Amendment right, which is to be free from unreasonable searches and seizures. The announcement was made yesterday morning by New Mexico's district attorney and special agent in charge of the FBI's Albuquerque field office. Martinez was formally charged in federal court.
A reminder of Monday's violence in Uptown can easily be missed. Damage to a tree because an Uber driver crashed into it. Police say someone shot him while taking a woman home. He later died at the hospital.
Going for a GSW victim.
Investigators say 22-year-old Michael Jackson continued shooting and targeted a security guard who responded to that crash.
Sounds like they found a second victim on that E17 shooting. What do you have into the call, please?
Court records say Jackson stole the security guard's car, but officers were able to track him down less than 20 minutes later. Arrest documents show Jackson told the detective he had been drinking and doesn't remember shooting anyone. Investigators don't think Jackson knew the Uber driver or the passenger. The passenger in the Uber said the drive home was totally normal until it wasn't. Detectives say they found 2 guns in that stolen car, and they think one of them belongs to that security guard. When Jackson told the court he didn't have any guns earlier this month, the district attorney's office says there just wasn't enough evidence to be able to search his house and double check.
Well, thanks for clarifying that. I think a lot of people wonder about all those questions.
Identified the suspect they believe opened fire on a crowd in Lodo over the weekend, sending 5 people to the hospital.
This morning, the search for that suspect continues, although we do have more information now. Fox 31's Jim Wootley live in Lodo this morning. Jim, we now know a name?
Yeah, we have a name now. We've had the picture for the week here after all this happened here last Saturday night here at 19th and Market Street in Lodo. We've had the picture, a lot of cameras down here. Police have had a really good picture, and they've worked hard now trying to locate this woman. She's been on the run for a week, and now we have her ID, her name as well. And she's facing some very, very serious charges. Take a look at the images that we have here. Again, the picture here, this is the woman that police say they are still looking for this morning, and her name now is Kiana Rosenberg, police say. A warrant has been issued for her arrest, and that warrant includes 8 counts of criminal attempt to commit murder in the first degree. very serious charges. That's 5 counts for the people hit by the gunfire that night, and 3 counts for people who were not hit, but they were in the area when the gunfire broke out. Police say Rosenberg tried to get into the very popular Whiskey Row bar here Saturday night on 19th, but she had a fake ID on her. She was turned away by security, and at that point she left. She walked away, but police say she came back and started shooting. 5 people were hit. They all survived. They're recovering this morning. Hopefully they're going to be okay. But again, police have been working on this for a week now. Still no sign of the woman that they're looking for, the suspect, Kiana Rosenberg. If you know her, if you know her location where she may be, please contact police here in Denver or, as always, our partners here at Metro Denver Crime Stoppers. In Lodo this morning, I'm Jim Houlihan.